table where we laughed and talked all day. So long ago, love was offered. The joy of being together made you want to stay. Take me back.
Well, hey y'all, welcome back to Life with Nana. I'm Nana and I'm so glad you're here with me today in the kitchen. Today is another big preservation day around here. I don't know if you can see all of these cucumbers. We have a ton of cucumbers over here. Not literally a ton, but we do have a lot. We have some green beans. Look at these. I love these asparagus beans, look. And what I'm going to do with these today is I'm just going to snap them and I'm going to blanch them and I'm going to put them in the freezer because I have a pot in the refrigerator that I already have cooked. I've got, you can't see it from where I got you sitting, but I've got another mess of squash. And I think I'm going to save this for my sister-in-law and see if she wants it. And I have a couple of green tomatoes. She's making something and I'm going to see if she wants some of that for that. And then we have all of these banana peppers, Advarsky peppers, and these have a little hole in it, and this one is kind of got a little weird shape. So I'm going to just chop those up, put them in the freezer. And I also have some jalapeno peppers and some real pretty bell peppers that I'm going to go ahead and fix and get those in the freezer. And probably the ones that are really pretty, I will just cut them. I'll probably cut them in half this way and freeze them like that on their side. And then that way I can stuff them when I get ready to do that. We also have a lot of corn that we're going to be doing today. Papa just left to go get his mom and she's going to come down and help us. Miss Bernice, my sweet, sweet mother-in-law, she volunteered to come and help with the corn today. We have a local farm here who gives away one plot that they plant of corn, and it's so generous, and I just am so thankful to them. It's called the Spurrell Family Farm if you're in this area, Moulton, Alabama area, and you can just look it up on Google and find out exactly where it's at. Now in the back here I have some water on the stove already coming up to temperature for blanching. I have riblets thawing out in the sink over here. So all these cucumbers we're going to turn into relish. We're going to make a dill relish and we're going to make a sweet relish. And then that way we'll have those on the shelf for things like chicken salad, ham salad, whatever we're making, egg salad or any of that kind of stuff. So I hope you'll hang around with me today. The first thing we're going to do though is we're going to start on the corn. So I have to get all of this moved out of the way and wait for our sweet mother-in-law to get here and Papa to get back, and we'll get started and I'll bring you back. Alright, so while we're waiting on Papa and Great Mamaw to get back, I'm just going to go ahead and snap these beans because there's just a few and get those blanched and put in the freezer. You do want to blanch things. Some people do it, some people don't. But, and to be honest, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know how it goes. So, the recommendation, though, from the National Home Preservation of Food is to blanch your vegetables. And what it does is it stops an enzyme that keeps the food from going bad. So today I've already got the water boiling and I've got my ice bath going. So I'm going to do that and we're just going to follow the directions. And as I said, sometimes I don't do it, sometimes I do. But I really do think that you should do it. Always follow the directions because you're dealing with the safety of your family here. Now, for me, sometimes it's something my mom did, you know, or my grandmother did, but they didn't have the same technology that we do, and they didn't have the same information that we had. So it's always better to follow the newest information if you possibly can. Get my garbage can pulled over. We're going to have a lot of preservation videos because that's where we're at right now. And I hope you guys enjoy them. I got the sweetest comment about the pie crust failing on me from one of our viewers. Thank you so much for that comment. It meant a lot to me. She was telling me that she had that happen to her at one point, and that she found that if you cool the dough really well, that it will come out better. So we're going to try that next time and see if that works. Well, let me grab me a little bowl to put these in. Turn my water back up just a little bit. It had stopped boiling. I turned it down. Now, when these start coming in like crazy, like when we have big pans full, I will can them. I won't freeze them. But for this little bit, I can cook these up and then add a can of pinto beans or white beans to them, and they'll be just fine, and it'll be so good. And so I don't really have a ton of freezer space left right now, since we went and bought all that from the local store. You can go back and look at that. It's a grocery haul video. You can go back and check that one out if you haven't seen it. I talk a lot about, buying things in bulk and how much it actually costs you per meal, and that's a big deal. It really is, especially if you are a young mom or a young father who has quite a few mouths to feed. It's good. It's a good way to do it. Now, a lot of people use Azure Standard, and that is something I want to learn. But y'all, right now, I've been having technical difficulties with my computer and my phone and all that, so I'm trying to use the bandwidth that I have to try to get that situated. And that's just the way that goes, right? We're all going to have some problems now and then. So it's not going to take us long to get these snapped. I don't know if you can hear them snapping, but I noticed on the other video we did, which is not out yet, it'll be out Saturday, that you can hear the beans actually snapping, and that shows you how fresh they are. So I just love these. These are so good. They taste good, and I mean, you're getting a lot too. And I put them on a trellis outside. I'll have to show it to you the next time we do a garden tour. And they look so pretty. And the reason I picked these were not quite as big as they do get, but I picked these because they were close to the ground, and I didn't want anything else getting them. They went a bean. Did y'all see that? That bean flew right out of my hand. So funny. But I get so excited when it's this time of year and we're preserving food. And the local farm that I was talking about, I happen to have known their grandmother years ago, and I loved her so dearly. She was such a sweet lady. Her name was Sue, and everybody that went to our meeting that we had at that time just loved her. She was just so thoughtful and sweet. And I can see that the generations that she left are just as thoughtful and sweet as she is, because they have probably, Papa said it, probably 2 acres or more of corn that they're just, letting people go and pick. And that's such a blessing, right? It's just such a blessing. We used to do that with blueberries. We had 100 blueberry bushes at our old place, and we would just let people come and pick and put up to their heart's content. And we're going to blanch these for about 3 minutes. I didn't look it up. but there's not that many of these, and I'm going to cook these pretty quickly. These are not going to be hanging around in the freezer for very long. And y'all, our freezers are so full. We may have to go buy another freezer. Isn't that exciting? Golly. I just get so excited when it comes to food preservation and stocking your food stores and having food on hand, and I just love cooking in general and putting things up and spending time with family doing things. Papa helped me with the beans, snapping the beans the other day when I did that video. And today you'll get to meet Miss Bernice, who I've talked about in other videos. So you're going to get to meet her today, if I can talk her into getting on camera. She's like me. She's comfortable, so I think she'll be just fine. So these have been going for about 3 minutes, and so I'm going to get these out and get them over into the cold water bath. That's going to stop the cooking process. All right, that's the last one. Now what I'm going to do, instead of us chasing it around in this big bowl, I'm just going to get let me park you back here so you can see. I'm just going to put some cold water in this bowl and let it cool it off. There we go. And you want to get it really cool, and then you want to dry them really well, and then put them in your Ziploc bag, write on your bag what it is, and there you go. You'll have some ready to cook. These would be excellent going in a soup or a stew, or just to cook when you have some fresh ones to add to. We call them a mess of green beans around here in the South, and we were kind of laughing about that. I'm like Miss Tipper. I love the language of the South, and I love the accent of the South. And well, one time my granddaughter, when she was really young, she said, "I ain't got no accent," and I said, "You sure do. All of us do, and depends on where you're from. Wherever you're from, you have an accent, probably." So, all right. So these are cool. So I'm going to drain them, and then we're going to get them on the towel and let them dry off, and we'll get them in our bag, and we'll mark our bag, and that'll be just beautiful. I have a quart Ziploc bag, and I'm going to write on it, I think I got y'all crooked, green beans, $6.25. I'm going to grab some paper towels. And I already have a bath towel down that was clean, so we're going to put these out on this and kind of let them dry a little bit more. I want to try not to let those ice crystals form. Wipe my bowl out. Don't they look beautiful and green? Look how pretty. It makes them look even greener than they already are. Now we're going to put these in our bag, and we're going to put them in the freezer. And that's another thing in our food stores that we have ready to go. Try to get all the air you can out of there. All right. That looks beautiful. I'm going to put it in the freezer. Well, hey, everybody, look who's here. This is Bernice. This is my mother-in-law. And you've heard me talk about her before and how sweet she is and how much I love her. And she came down today to help us do this corn, and I'm so excited for her to show you how she does it. Show them what you know, girl.
Well, I just take an ear of corn and I lay it down on a block. Take my knife and I just kill it. And
She's cutting this part off.
I thought they would see it over here, but they didn't, I don't guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, that you get the silk started. to where you can just pull them down and get them gathered up and then put them in your trash can. Finish your shucking of the corn as good as you can and break it off at the end. And then you've got your silks up here that you can pull a lot of them down then. That's the way I do it. And then I take a brush to it.
Now, I was asking her this morning about canning this corn, and my mother never had really much success with canning corn, and Mamaw said she didn't have much success in it, so we are going to freeze this. So we're going to get a bunch of this done, and then we're going to carry it over to the stove and show you how to blanch it. But I got to find me a knife.
You just take it and lay it down on the board. Then you cut it, and then you pick it up, and then put it over a trash can or over something that you don't want to get messed up. And then you start to shuck it.
Let me see if I can do it the way she's doing it.
Of course you can. It's according to how many silks you want.
But look at that one.
Uh-oh, it's not filled out.
All right, so we're not going to do that one. That one didn't look good. Let's try again.
But you want to keep your silks from getting so many up here in your way, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure they get over the trash can.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to Mamaw coming down here and showing us how she does things.
Well, look at that one now.
Hmm?
Look at that one. See, it's not filled out all the way.
Well, we're going to just keep going with it.
But you can cut that one out.
Yeah. This is how real food looks, guys. This is the way it looks sometimes. Sometimes you have a piece that don't look perfect. Sometimes it has a worm in it. Sometimes it's dirty. That's just the way real food is. When you buy it at the grocery store, it's already been cleaned up for you.
But you just take it and lay it down on the butcher block. Take your knife and cut off just say an inch or half an inch and a half maybe, from where the silks is at.
What about this end? Would you leave it or take?
Well, are you gonna cook it on the cob, or are you gonna cut this off?
I'm gonna put it in the freezer on the cob.
On the cob? It's up to you whether you want to take that off or not.
Okay. So
you cut it off, you know,
all right, so we're
to make it look better.
We'll cut that off. And look how pretty. Now, these are some smaller ears, and we've got some bigger ears too. And it was so nice. Do you remember Sue Squirrel?
Yeah.
See, Mamaw knew her, and I knew her because she used to come to a meeting that we used to go to together. And she was the sweetest lady. And this is her family's farm that we got this from. And I can see they've carried on that tradition of kindness. I think I've already said that in this video, but I do want to reiterate that because we just love her.
She worked in the insurance office too.
Did she?
Should have named the insurance.
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Well, it's my insurance, but.
Well, it don't matter. Yeah, she worked there for a long time.
Yeah.
By the time I knew her, she was already retired.
Yeah.
But she had lots of grandkids and kids, and she was just a super sweet lady.
Yeah, she
really,
was.
Really nice. And I used to take her blueberries from our blueberry patch, and so now this is sweet because her family's carrying on a tradition like that. That's so nice.
These are nice here.
Yeah, these are wonderful, and they taste so good.
Uh-oh, this one's not good either. See, a lot of times you can feel.
Yeah, and if it's not good, we just won't worry about it. We got enough to. We've got enough. I got enough today to give some away. Mamaw's going to take some home, and the lady across the road, Angie, my friend Angie from across the road, I'm going to take them some. My sister-in-laws, if they want some. So we just share all the way around, you know. Everybody can share.
That is gorgeous right there.
Ain't that a pretty ear?
Hey, how about us eating?
Give me that. I'll eat it.
Oh,
I don't
well.
mind eating it. You can look at me and tell I eat.
Well, now, I don't know about that. Now, a lot of times you don't have to eat.
We always have a ton of fun when Mamaw comes down and helps me
Mm.
can and do things like that in the kitchen. And we just laugh and have a ton of fun. We usually have a meal, and it's always fun when
Yeah,
we do that.
they always say I've got to eat with them when I come down.
Well, we gotta feed you.
Oh,
Make sure you're eating.
oh, I'm eating. You can tell by the looks of me, I'm eating.
No, doctor said she wasn't eating enough, y'all. Y'all gonna have to. I ain't never had nobody tell me that.
Well,
So I'm looking forward to the day that somebody says you're not
no,
eating enough.
no, you're not because you're sick when they tell you that.
Yeah, that's true.
You do. I mean, you are sick when they tell you that you're not
I used to
doing that
laugh
good.
at the weight loss meeting I used to go to because I used to kid around. And one saying around here is, "You've lost so much weight, you're gonna blow away," or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, ain't nobody ever said that to me, and I'm just looking forward to the day that they do."
Well,
We
it
just-
sure is pretty.
That is beautiful corn.
It is. I mean, it's gorgeous. You're not going to cut off any of it, just it whole.
No, I'm not gonna cut any of it off because we prefer it that way. And I figured if you wanted to cut you some off, then
Uh,
you can, or we can,
No.
whatever you want to do. But, ooh, see, ants.
you
Yeah.
can give my part to somebody else then if you can think of somebody else, or go ahead and put it in the freezer and I'll take it later.
Well, that's what I wanted you to do, take some with you, and then if you have room in your freezer.
I don't have room in it to put
Well, when you
anything
get
much
a
of
hankering
anything
for
else.
corn, you just call me and I'll
I
bring
will.
some.
I will.
But that does work really well, the way you were showing us how to do it.
Well, now, it's just the way that I've learned how to do it. And especially if it's, like you said a while ago, wormy, got worms in it up there, then you don't have to get your fingers all in that,
Yeah,
pull all that down.
goop.
I learned that,
Now,
people,
did you learn how to do this from your mom?
no,
This way?
no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I learned how to do this, Phil and me, when we were doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phil was her oldest son. He has passed away now, but we all miss him so much because he was such a sweetheart.
He made
And
such a good garden.
man, he could make a good garden. And he used to come and pick blueberries, and he would pick a lot of blueberries, and then he would, on his way home, he would just give blueberries away to people, and he was so kind and generous, and boy, he's missed.
In more ways than one.
What?
In more ways than one.
Oh yeah. I know it's got to be really hard.
Well,
He was a really fantastic member of their church, and after he passed away, of course, this is so like him. But after he passed away, we had so many come up and say, "Well, he did this, or he donated to the children's book fund, and if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be a library or whatever, in the children's room." He was always doing that, and he was never one to brag about anything. He never told anybody anything like that. And I know when he met the Lord said, "Job well done." I know he did.
said what? Said what?
Job well done.
Oh, job well done. Oh, I don't
That's
know.
what I know the Lord had to have said to him. Because isn't that what it says in Scripture? "My good and faithful servant, job well done." And he passed away before my grandson did. And so I know that he was standing at the eastern gate waiting on our food booth.
You're not kidding.
So that makes me happy in one way and sad in a
Yeah.
bunch of ways. But we're not going to talk about sad today.
No,
we
we're
had
not.
a bad day 2 or 3 days ago, and we're just not going to get down and out about it.
Well,
We're
not
going to get a lot of this done.
Yeah.
And now I've got water back here boiling. I think I already told y'all that. And so we're going to blanch this corn. My sister-in-law said 5 minutes. Is that what you would suggest?
Well, if that's the way you're going with it, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So around 5 minutes, and then you put it in cold water to stop it from cooking, and dry it off really well. It's
but
got a little bad spot on it, so I'm gonna cut that off.
I put mine in the microwave and cook it.
Oh, okay.
Wash it, just run the cold
Just
water over it.
kind of like blanching it
And
the same way.
yes, just wash it, get it clean. And if you think it's dirty, and then you just put it in the microwave, say 6, 7 hours at a time. Just lay it flat in the microwave, and put it on about 6 or 7, maybe about 10, 12 minutes.
Okay.
And then when that cuts off, we'll maybe turn it over, each air over, maybe 5, 6 more minutes,
Okay.
and then cool it. Then you put it in the freezer.
Well, see, we learned
So-
something today. You
so
don't have to do it in water.
That's
You
the
can
way
do
I
it
did.
in the microwave, and that's a good.
That's the
a
way
good
I learned how
tip.
to do mine, and I didn't have to boil that water.
Right.
I didn't have to waste that water.
That's a lot of work, ain't it? Well, all right, we're going to get to work, and we're going to get this done, and we'll bring you back when we're finished shucking this corn, and I'll show you how we're going to blanch it and get it put away in bags so that we can get it in the freezer. All right, so we have some of our corn ready to go into our boiling water. And so you just take your ears of corn and you put them down in there, as many as you want. And we're going to do 5 minutes. My sister-in-law said 5. My mom said 5. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to set me a little timer as soon as it comes back up. I think I got too much water in here. All right. I think that's about all we can get in there. One more. All right, so let's set the timer for 5 minutes. And Mamaw has better hearing than I do, so she can tell me if the stove starts beeping. Y'all know Nana can't hear, and I don't hear these beeps. Sometimes they beep and drive everybody nuts. So we're going to let this come back up. We're going to let it boil for 5 minutes, and as soon as we get through with that, we're going to take it and put it in the cold water, ice water, and let it sit in there for 5 minutes. And then I'm going to get a clean towel and put it out over here. We're going to let it just drain before we put it in our bags and put it in. So why are you doing that? Mamaw,
What?
why are you doing that for?
Got to get the silks off of it. We don't want them silks. We don't want them things to eat.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it?
No.
She's done every ear. She's done every ear of corn like this. I got a good mother-in-law, don't I?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to eat a lot of corn.
All right, so I decided I would go ahead and make the dill pickles, and I'm just using the package of Mrs. Wage's kosher dill pickle, and I went ahead and chopped up my cucumbers and got those up to a boil, and now all I'm going to do, and you just follow the directions on the package, and then all you do is fill up your jar. And I may have to go get some more jars. If I do, I will. My canner will only hold 7 at a time. So the first thing I'm going to do is fill up with the cucumbers themselves. And then I'll go back and put some brine over them. This is a very simple way to do something, and you can get the package from the store. You don't have to worry about hunting recipes and all that kind of stuff. And so sometimes I like to use things like this. Convenience makes it easier. And today we did all that corn, but I was afraid to let these bigger cucumbers sit for too awful long because I didn't want them to get soft on me. But I am going to have more jars, I can see that. So we're going to just get some of this, the brine, and we're going to fill it up to 1-inch headspace. And that is right to that first rim. And I'm going to wipe the rims down, and I'm going to put the lids on and get them in the canner. And then I'll go find some more jars, and we'll get those filled up. And this will be enough dill relish for us probably for 2 years, looking by the looks of what's in this pan. And I'm doing sweet pickles this year too, and I think that that'll be enough of those for quite a while. It's been a good day today. Had a good day, enjoyed my time with my mother-in-law. She's a sweetie. And I've got a little just white vinegar in this little bowl, and I'm just going to wipe all these rims. This is a good little thing to do. That way you're filling of the rim of your jar to make sure that there's no nicks or anything like that in them. And then we're going to put a brand new lid and a ring. The ring does not matter if it's brand new or not, but it does matter if your lids are brand new. They do need to be brand new. And I like to use the 4-jar lids. I don't know if you could see that or not, but anyway. That's the ones I like. I don't seem to have any failure when I use those. You don't want to over tighten these, but you do want to get them tight. They will untighten in the canner. So want to make sure they're finger tight. And then we're going to put them in my electric canner, and we're going to let them do their thing for 15 minutes. And while they're doing that, I'm going to go hunt more jars, and we will be ready to go when these come out of the canner. Turn this on so that I can have some hot water going in case I need it when I get all these jars in this canner. I was taught that you need a couple of inches above your jars. I have seen other people do it different ways. But the National Food Preservation website, which is what you want to go by, says to cover your jars by 1 inch or 2. And I am going to need a little more water, so I'm going to wait for that to get hot. We have quite a few more pickles. Look at that. So I'm going to have to probably go find some more jars and see what I can find. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm ready to get my canner going. I did have to heat up some more water to cover the jars. I went ahead and filled up 7 more jars, and I still have some pickles in here. So I'm going to find another jar and see if we can figure out how to do this. And I might just put these in the refrigerator for us to eat on this next week. So let me get the canner going. Well, all right. We've had a long day, but it's been a great day. We wound up with 15 jars, small jars of pickles, and then a pint jar. And we had some extra juice that I'm going to put in the refrigerator. And as we get more cucumbers, we can just use this mixed up and we'll be done. We also wound up with, this is the corn. We wound up with 100 ears. Isn't that amazing? I'm so excited to have that in our freezer over there, and I'm really excited to have all this on our food stores. I'm so thankful to my mother-in-law, Miss Bernice. She's a lovely woman, you know, just you getting to meet her today, you hear me talk about her a lot. I hope she'll be able to come back and do some more canning with us over the summer. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, Nana loves you. Nana is so proud of you, and you always have a friend here. I'll see you on the next one.